this. You live in a city far from your village, but something bad had happened in your village, and while you are working in another city, people from your village comes and tells you how things are bad at home, how no one knows what to do, people are really troubled, and according to the way they are telling you, they are expecting you maybe to do something. What will you do if you are given such a report? What will be your response? And today we'll be looking to a certain story from the Word of God that happened to a man in the Word. We'll be hearing that story, and it happened just like that. People from his home village comes to where he was working and tells him how things are bad back at home, and then you'll see how this servant of God responded. Our reading today will take the story of Nehemiah, and we'll be seeing how Nehemiah responded to the call of people from where he came from their home back in Jerusalem. And so it's when the story of Nehemiah starts. The story starts. Nehemiah is working in a certain country for a certain king. After Jerusalem had been captured by Babylonians and everything was left in ruins, everything was burnt and destroyed, so nothing was working. And so people are captured. And now the story, now it begins when there are people who are now, they have been released from Babylonians, they are called remnants, and now they are back in Jerusalem, but the state of the walls of Jerusalem, they are really in dire need. And we see now that is when the people from Jerusalem goes to visit Nehemiah where he was working. And the first thing Nehemiah does when he gets the report, Nehemiah goes to God in prayer and fasting. And at that particular time, I think Nehemiah decides, I have to go and repair these walls, because it doesn't mean that Nehemiah was the only person from Jerusalem. Even these people who were coming to tell Nehemiah, they were staying there, and they could have thought of repairing the walls, which they never did. But we see Nehemiah taking a different turn or a different step in this whole story, and he decides to go back to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls. And the story starts now. God will grant Nehemiah favor so that he can be able to go back to Jerusalem and start repairing the walls. We see him given permission by the king where he was working, and a letter that he needed so that he can go with it back to Jerusalem so that he could get help from other people. And now we see Nehemiah going back to Jerusalem, and they start rebuilding the walls. And still, it doesn't mean because they are rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, they are doing good. There will be no opposition. Opposition is big. People are fighting. They don't want the walls to be rebuilt for whatever reason. But we see a determined Nehemiah who was ready to rebuild the walls despite the oppositions, despite the obstacles. And so today, I want us to look around in our lives. I want us to look in our family. Maybe you are in a family setup. Maybe you are married. Maybe you are not married. You are a child. You are single. Whatever situation you are in or whatever age you are in, there must be a broken wall somewhere in your life. There's something that is broken. There's something that needs fixing. And you are just sitting there, I don't know, waiting for help from someone else. You are waiting there. You are sitting there, maybe praying victim, crying. Nothing is working. The business is not working. Children are not going the way you want. Marriage is not working. Economy is not working, and nothing is working. And instead of maybe thinking, how can I get out of this mess? You are sitting there crying out, I don't know to who. You're not even crying to God. You are just complaining. And so today I want us to wake up. We have to stop complaining and we have to start fixing our lives. We have to start fixing the broken walls and the burnt doors in our lives because they are many. You have to look around and see maybe in your lives everything is broken down, but there's hope. You don't have to build like the case of Nehemiah. They didn't build the whole wall at the same time. It was put in sections, and each section he put people to do every part that was given to certain people to build. They did that now in section parts, and so your life or rather may be very very broken. You don't have to fix everything. You start looking for portions. Which one is this is broken? Marriage is broken, children are broken, career is broken, business is broken. Take one portion at a time. Will I start with marriage? Okay, you look for how can I maybe improve my marriage. If it's children, which are the best ways to bring up maybe teenage children or the young children, maybe it's your business. Where am I doing wrong? Which people are doing the business that I'm doing and they are doing good? You start looking for a solution because I can tell you for real and for free, nobody, no one will come to fix your life. It's you. You have to wake up. You have to take responsibility. You have to be accountable of your lives. Because sometimes you find, yes, now in the case of Jerusalem, they were captured, but there are sometimes you find that the situation that you are in your life, you contributed to it, or somebody else contributed. You see now, the Jerusalem, they couldn't have sinned because Babylonians broke our walls. They are the ones who are coming to build. No, comes a time when you have to own whatever happened, whether you did it or not. Nehemiah found it, in his heart, I can't stay another single day. Enough is enough. If all this time the walls have been broken, I will take the initiative. I will take the responsibility. I will go there and be the leader they need. Because those people now, if you can look, because Nehemiah never carried the people from wherever he was working. He used the people who were there in his village. And so it tells us that sometimes there were people in fact, but they needed somebody to lead them. They needed somebody, maybe somebody bold, somebody courageous. And today you are the bold and the courageous person. You have to stand up for your life. You have to show up for your life. You have to wake up and fix whatever is not working. You cannot afford to stay in ruins. You cannot afford to stay in ruins of self-pity, self-victim, playing victim always. It was done to me. Somebody did it to me. Lack of confidence, lack of you don't know what to do next. You have to wake up and start declaring that I know what to do. You have to declare that you are more than a winner. You are a conqueror. You have to conquer whatever obstacles are coming in your life. And when you decide to fix your life, don't think that now because you are doing good, everything will be smooth. No, you'll get obstacles. You'll get things to make you stop. But since you've made a decision, because we see when Nehemiah went back to Jerusalem, he had one thing in mind: to rebuild the walls despite the opposition. And that is the stand you will stand, I and you. Because even me, I have broken places in my life. I have broken walls, but we keep on correcting, we keep on rebuilding each day, one step at a time, one day at a time, one at a time. But the only thing that can stop you from rebuilding, it is not rebuilding. When you don't build, it remains in ruins, it remains broken, it remains burnt down. But when you decide to fix it, it doesn't matter whether you put one brick one day, whether you put two bricks, whether it's one want, whether it's you're thinking, it's mindset, you decided to start correcting. Things will start taking new shape. Things will start taking new directions. And so like Nehemiah, We have to be ready to face oppositions. They will be there. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. Sometimes, and these oppositions, they don't have to be things outside. Most of them, they will be in your hand, because by now, maybe everything that has happened, it is because maybe the decisions you made, the wrong company you kept, the thing you're supposed to do, you never did. And so there's nothing even tangible there that is outside there that is now blocking, that has brought your life to break down. It is decisions. And maybe sometimes getting out of correcting the wrong decisions you make, it may take time. It may take opposition from yourself, within you, not even outside. But you have to be ready. If you decide from today, I'm going to change the way I think. Maybe you have issues with anger. I'm going to tackle. So when anger comes, you have to be very, very fast and realize that is anger, and I'm not going to fall victim to your anger. And so you find that the moment you make a decision to start building, oppositions will be there, but your focus will be one. I have to fix my life. It's my own business. I'm not waiting for anyone from outside to fix me. And one thing you have to know, you need God. You cannot fix your life on your own, because if you did, if you would, you could have already done it. But the fact that you've not done it, it means you can't do it on your own. So you need guidance from God. You need help from God. You need direction from God. So it's always good to ask God for strength, for guidance, so that you can be able to take the right decision. You can be able to move on the right direction, so that you can rebuild your life and you live in a way that it pleases God, and you are also to serve the people who are around you. So today, wake up. Maybe after you are there, you are so bored, you are so down, nothing is working. No, everything will start working today. Now, you have to wake up, you have to look around, and you have to start rebuilding your life. You are waiting for nobody. And the longer you stay down, the longer the walls will remain broken. So it's the high time you woke up. Even if you start by sweeping, even if you start by aligning your mind, even if you start by deciding just that one decision, I will rebuild my life. That is more than enough. And it will take you to the next step that you need to move. So God bless you so much as you make a decision, because it's a decision you have to make. You have to get angry enough to say enough is enough. I cannot stay in this ruin again. Enough is enough. I cannot stay down again. I have to wake up and rebuild my life, because I know God is with me. I am more than a conqueror. And that more than a conqueror, it's not just word of the mouth. It requires actions. So wake up and take the necessary actions. Even if it's what I've said, just deciding, I'll change the way I live. I'll change my lifestyle. Wake up and do it. And when you make that decision, it will lead you to the next step. Okay, I've made up my mind to rebuild my life. When do I start? You see? And questions will start coming, and you will start answering them. And before you know it, you'll be standing and praising God and saying, thank you, God. I decided to fix my life. I might not be where I want, but at least I'm not where I was. And I can assure you, as long as you decide to move, guys, God will move with you. So thanks so much, and start moving. God bless you, and remember to subscribe. Thank you.